So, US cash session open, just playing out, getting the first price movement after the US cash session hours. We do have ascending pivots. You can see these price pivots ascending have a bit of a W pattern. And just right in here, somewhere right in here, we have US cash session open. I do have the mom strat turned on. It's on long and short mode. We do have buttons where you can just play the long mode or just play the short mode. I'm going for $700, or roughly thereabout on a 150K account as my typical minimum, daily US daily profit target. So this is we call it the mom signal strategy. These square indications are when we're getting momentum burst trades. And I've got many videos at the Grid Algo YouTube channel talking about what is a momentum burst trade. So we're after the open. The automated strategy is on and enabled. I can turn it on and off. I can flatten all my positions and any stops or targets. I can put it in long only mode, short only mode, and it's pretty cut and dry strategy. And I have a time window turned on, so there's only a certain period of time a day that I trade. From basically just out of the US cash session open. And I have it turned on so it'll run till 1:30 in the afternoon US Central Time. But I mean, I'm rarely still trading then. Just the strategy's on that long. Do I need it on that long? No. For this particular settings and optimization, this is for just going after a daily profit objective. And within the strategy settings, I can set a daily max target or a daily, target. And once it hits that, shuts everything down, it's done for the day. And I have a daily loss target. So I can, if for some reason the market's just chopping, go sideways for a long time, and for some really weird reason, if I got chopped up to the point that I hit a daily loss limit on the day, then that's it. The trading shuts down for the day, and then you should be done because the market conditions are so bizarre that you're not getting like any institutional activity coming in and then they just disappear over and over and over again. That's not usually how it works. That's why the predominance of our signals, especially during the time period when the predominant players are in the market, and that's during US cash session hours where all the volume is, we're going to get trades with some follow through. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. So anyhow, we'll stand by and we'll see if we can get a signal. We do have ascending pivots, W pattern lift, pullback lift. And I have the volume on kind of low. So if we get a signal, you might hear the audible alerts. So a fair amount of my group trades these setups automated, but you can trade them manually. I mean, it's not that hard to trade these setups manually. Just use NinjaTrader ATM brackets and let her rip. Every time you get a signal during the most optimal time period for that particular instrument, then trade your signals during that time period. Okay, so we're sitting here seeing if we can get a signal on the mom strat. If we got a long signal, that would be a continuation or what I call a sequential signal. We've had one long signal, and if we get another one, that would be a secondary long signal. So for some reason, I turned on my system earlier, and I was in a long trade already. As long as I'm not taken out on the pullback in any trail stop, and we do have a trail stop in the strategy, if it doesn't hit the trail stop and I'm still in, any additional signals to the long side, it will not take because, hey, you're already in a trade. Not until if I get a short signal, it will flatten my longs and basically put me into a fresh trade to the short side, all automated. So that's how the system works. And yeah, it's pretty, the automated strategy is fairly, oh, there we go. We got triggered in. I just kind of heard the tone. Actually, I could probably turn the volume up just a tad. And there we go. So we're in a long trade. We should see a target way out there somewhere. There's the target. And now we're in a trade. So we'll stand by. we'll let the trade play out. When we get to a certain threshold, my stop will move to break even plus 3 ticks, and then I'm in a free trade. So standing by, we see what we get. And I'm kind of, when we start getting up around 600, when I'm in trade, I watch it, watch it, watch it. We get near 700 and start pushing above it. A lot of times I'll just flatten the trade, call it good. And I can just hit the flatten button right there and boom, blip myself out of the trade, and that will take care of that. Okay, standing by, we'll see what we get. Okay, everybody, the stop moved to break even plus, all automated. I'm still in the trade, not quite to a daily goal, so I'm watching it, getting ready to have a little breakfast. But anyhow, standing by, and we'll keep watching the trade. If I see this push to around 600 plus, I'll come back, turn the video on, and everything's automated. It's a simple design. We're trading momentum burst signals, and you don't have to trade them on AIQ bars that we provide. You can trade them on range bars. You've got guys trading range bars, volume stuff they've come up with, tick charts. Got some guys that have put up some really smooth equity curves over and above using AIQ bars in our main room, and they share in the settings and everything. So we have a good, beautiful collaboration of different paths people are going down with the mom signals on different types of bar types. Okay, so standing by, markets so far grinding up, stalled just a little bit here, but yeah, waiting to see if I can get my 700 for the day, and then I'll blip out the trade, and I'll wait and trade the next day. I'll turn on the strategy, do the same repeat the same process. Okay, so we got in on the initial signal after the U.S. cash session hours. Let's see, arrow line. If I would have the system on earlier, I would already be done, but we're in the trade. We pushed up to about the 600s area, so I see a good surge above 700. I mean, I could leave it on, move my stop up, but it's like this is what I call a one and done day. I get into the system after the U.S. cash session open, catch an initial trade. I've gotten a secondary signal, but the automation won't put me in another trade because I'm already in one, and I got my target out far away. Let's say some news hit and it just ripped and took off, then I got a target out about 7-1. But all I'm doing now, I see we're getting close to 700, so I can hover over the flatten button. I'm over 700, hit flatten, and I'm done. I got my daily goal, and that's that. So one and done on a Friday, and took a long time. I mean, it's way past 11 a.m. U.S. Central Time, so this has been a slow, kind of methodical grind. So that'll wrap it up. I made daily goal one and done, especially at the end of the week. You just kind of want to get done and go on and, get ready to go do something and have a weekend. Okay, so we'll call that a day, and then we'll see what we get next week on Monday. Okay, coming up on the U.S. cash session open, we had a down move yesterday, some scrub action, big sell-off here, at least showing you what led into the end of the day. It's all been overnight session, not much going on there. We're coming up on the U.S. cash session open, so I do have the mom strat turned on. Same exercise. Once I get to any point, whether it's 1, 2, 3 trades, I get pushing over 700, then I'll be ready to hit the flatten button and then be done for the day. Now, the reason we have long mode and short mode only buttons, sometimes if we open up and we're gapped way up and we're like at a key level, I might only want to work short side in the beginning of the day or long side. So it's there as an option and available if a person wants to use it. So that's why it's on there. This, kind of not anywhere special as far as near any key price level. So I'm just going to leave it in the long short mode. So this is fully automated strategy, and we're looking to see if we get any momentum bursts. and then it'll work us into the trade. We have stop and target, as you saw from the prior day. So the automation does everything. I don't have the automation set to blip me out of the trade when I hit 700. I'm just doing it manually. I could put it in there and it works fantastic. I mean, the second, and usually what I'll do is I won't set it at 700 even. I could set it at like 705 or 710, meaning the second the P&L on a tick of price hits, let's have it set at 705, it flattens the trade. And with a little bit of slippage, I should always have, trading 3, 4, 5 MNQs, I should still hold at least $700. So usually I set it at 710. Okay, so standing by for setup here, see what we get on the day. The market was pretty heavy selling, scrubbed around end part of the day, not a whole lot of lift in the overnight session. So we'll see if we get some weakness here. Okay, we've been triggered into a trade. I should have turned the volume up, but I can barely hear it. The audible tone went off. The stop placement is relative to my time frame. If I'm on a lower time frame, my stop will be tighter. And I always try to have my stop on average right near the high side of the signal. And that's easy to figure out. I can go look at a day's, look at all the signals and say where my entries would be. What's the average distance from entry to the top of stop? I can ballpark that, put that in the settings. So then I know for that instrument in that time frame, there's my setting for a stop. So what I want to see here is I want to see this market come down, take out this pivot low, and there's not support for a bit farther down. So I want to see if it can flush that out and maybe get a a move here to the downside. So we'll see what happens and we'll stand by and see what we get here. Oh, just looked over. We had a push down. Stop went from at its distance to break even plus 3 ticks exactly per my settings. I notice we're pushing 500 already. So if we can flush out this pivot low and get a little bit of extension, should put me over 700 where I could just blip the trade out. So standing by, see if we can work our way lower and get to maybe another one and done trade like the other day. Okay, market, no push lower so far. We are in a free trade. We're break even plus a few ticks. So just standing by, we just let the trade play out, let the automation do its thing. Okay, this is kind of scrubbed out a bit. There is that low pivot since the initial run. If we break that, it should easily push a bit over 700. This is taking a long time, so even more likely. So we'll watch this here and see what we get. Okay, it's been going really slow. We're finally pushing that pivot. In the prior ones, we're over 700. And the first good push I get, I can hit the flatten button. So standing by here, I could have hit it earlier, but I'm going to see if we can push a little bit lower here since we're attempting to break lower. So we'll stand by here and see if we can get a little bit of a press lower. Okay, so see where I'm talking about when the automation, if I just would have said it that, hey, I'm at 705 or $10, it would have blipped me out instantly. I had to sit through a cycling higher. We're finally pressing through that pivot, but I'm sitting here, well over 700, 800-ish. We'll hit flatten and we'll call it a day. So a little over daily goal, but this is kind of like ridiculous. We're sitting here up against a pivot and it's just hanging. And I know when it breaks, it's probably going to run hard, 30, 40, 50 point rip, especially since we had a primary signal, market junked around, just had a secondary signal, just no follow through yet. You can see there's we're chipping through an area that was a big pivot left over from yesterday. But hey, I'm done on the day. One and done 2 days in a row. That is the Algo IQ system with the momentum signal trade. And yeah, and the more volatile the market is, the more wondrous the system does. So there you have it. If you have any questions, info@gridalgo.com.